Hey everyone, this is Trudy. Trudy, I'm so pleased and so excited with the results that you've seen. Would you mind just giving us a little bit of idea of kind of where things were for you when you were looking for help and how things are going and where you're at now?
Okay, great. Yeah, actually, real brief. My entire adult life, I always had stomach issues, and I have gone to doctor after doctor. They put you on the omeprazole or whatever, and it never really helped. Probably 20 years ago, diagnosed with hypoglycemia, given a very strict, stringent diet. Um, Being a mom of younger children, of course, that flew out the window because it was just too hard to keep up with their lives and try to take care of me at the same time. Fast forward a couple of years, ended up on Synthroid for my thyroid because my levels were out of whack, and that they were blaming the fatigue, the cold hands and feet, joint pain, everything, hair loss. They were blaming on my thyroid, but I'm always in the range. And that's been going on for years and years. I've probably been through 5 endocrinologists because I would just move on. If they didn't listen to me, I'd move on. And then you get to the point where none of them were listening, to be honest with you. Um, Gained a lot of weight, probably gained 30, 35 pounds, and everybody blamed it on my thyroid or menopause. And, I said, I'm looking around at women my age saying, they're not overweight. Why am I? Why is it just happening to me? Um, the last time I went to the endocrinologist, I actually gave them the blood work I did for you guys. And he basically just copied it down and offered to put me on a Ozempic if I really wanted it. And wanted to fire him on the spot, but I didn't. And I'm like, no, I think I can do this. I can do this. So God bless you. Like you said, I got to a point where I was 169 pounds. I didn't like who I was. Every joint hurt. I had the brain fog. Everything you say in your master class, it's like, and I worked in healthcare, and I'm like, I can't have brain fog. I have to be sharp. And it was really hard, but I would plug through it because I had to. And as I said, I was exercising last summer. My husband and I probably rode bikes for 450 miles, still couldn't lose a pound. It's like, what's going on here?
Wow.
Yeah. And I mean, I was cardiovascularly fit, but I didn't feel good. I didn't look good. I wasn't myself. Um, that's when I think the last fall is when I was like, okay, something's got to change. And scrolling on Facebook, found your program. And I'm like, again, I'm very skeptical. I'm very non-trusting. So it's like, I kind of stalked you for a while and then signed up for the master class. And it all was just like, it made sense. What you were saying made sense. It's like the comprehensive testing and the norms are for the sick people. And I'm like, gosh, that's so true. Who gets their blood work done? Not healthy people. It's, when you're going to the doctor because something's wrong. And it all just started clicking, and the toxic foods. And I've always, well, since I had the hypoglycemia, I just try to not eat sugar. But when I would eat it, I just felt awful. Stomach hurt. I just was a mess. And people at work, one cookie is not going to hurt you, one donut's not going to hurt you. And it's like, it's not going to hurt me, but I don't like the way it makes me feel. So
Right.
it's really hard when you have that peer pressure, I guess. Um, so, giving up the sugar was not all that hard because it was like, okay, yeah, I know how it makes me feel. It's just being stronger. Because I got to the mindset of, yeah, I just make poor choices and I deal with it. And that was the little voice in my head. And it's like, well, why are you making these poor choices? And then when I watched your program, I'm like, yeah, you kind of kicked me in the butt. And it's like, you got to start taking care of your health. And it made so much sense. And just cutting out the gluten, the joint pain's better. It's not all gone. I've got arthritis and it is what it is. But I feel better. The brain fog's gone. The toxic food that I was eating, I quit buying boxed foods because they were easier. And yeah, it's harder to make a meal. It takes longer and it's more expensive. But I can't believe how I was 169, I'm about 139, 140 now. So I've
Wow.
consistently kept off 30 pounds just doing this. Honestly, since August, I think is when I actually started. And I had a couple medical setbacks. I mean, the day of my first video conference with Ashley, I was going in later that day to have my gallbladder taken out. So I couldn't start the supplements because I just couldn't handle it. Um, I slipped and fell on the ice, broke a rib, couldn't exercise because of that. It's just funny. I had three different things that came up medically that kind of set me back physically, but I still managed to get back on track. And it's
Well, and even with all that, your body was still healing. That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I said even actually the first thing out of her mouth, how's your rib? How you feeling? Because it was always something going on every time I was talking to her, I swear. But but yeah, I really can't stress enough how important it is to take care of your health. Look at everything, step outside of the your PCP's view of what's right for you. If you don't believe, like I said, I went through 5 endocrinologists. I don't know that there's a good one out there. But I'm more educated now. I think I know how to make the better choices. I still need them. I still need the Synthroid for my thyroid, but I just feel better. And I feel like the old me, the young me, I should say. I feel like the
So,
younger.
so your age reversed.
I think I feel that way, yes, because I just didn't care before. I was just, I turned into this frumpy, I'm just going to come home from work and do nothing. And this just gave me some insight to making better choices. And
That's
I just can't
fantastic.
thank you enough for that. Like I said, and Ashley was just wonderful about it. I did have issues with the supplements. I'm not a pill taker and don't like things like that. Some of them upset my stomach, so she adjusted. I mean, that's the one thing that's great. When I was in phase 2 going into 3, I think it was really tough for me. So she bumped me back to phase 1 and I could handle those supplements. So, I mean, she took excellent notes because she could just look up where I was and where I was good and knew where to put me to keep me on track. And
So having a coach, like we talk about, having a coach is like invaluable.
I was against it, thinking I could do this myself because that's my mindset. I can do it my everything myself. But yeah, you need that person to bounce. Even though I didn't, like I said, it's not like I reached out to her weekly or maybe twice a month, but she was just there when I needed her. So that's what was wonderful. And
And
I hope the program will continue to help me if I fall off the wagon, which I fell off the wagon many times, and you just climb back on and get back in gear. It's not, we're not robots. We can't be perfect. I mean, I read a lot of comments where the women are saying, oh my gosh, I, ate a cookie or something. And it's like, you can't beat yourself up.
that's
It's life.
right.
It's life. And you just realize that, yeah, you fell back a little bit, just move forward.
And
So,
and so since you're from healthcare, I'm curious, what would you say to the person who may have a traditional healthcare background, who may be skeptical like you were? What would you say to that person who is feeling not so great and knows that what they're doing isn't working? What would you say?
um, believe it or not, we don't know everything just because we're in healthcare. You have to have somebody else who believes in other ways of doing things. And that's what I said. I'm that person that thinks I can do everything and I can take care of everything. I can heal everybody as I was crumbling and not healing myself. So yeah, reach out. Yeah, we're not that all knowing, even though we have the education, you still need someone's guidance like yours and Ashley is my coach. It's because that's what you're focused on. We're focused on everything else in our world. You're focused on how to get us to this healthy choice that we are making. So I just do it. That's all I can say. Yeah, if you're stuck, and I was really stuck, and I was beating myself up, and it's like, okay, it's time to flip the switch and try something different. And there's all these fad diets out there. The whatever the intermittent fasting and what is the one where you eat all the meat and meat only.
Keto.
Yeah, and it's like you have to have the balance.
Yeah.
And protein was the hardest for me. I was not a big protein person, but you guys have really woken me up to the importance of it and how it does fill you and takes care of everything. Because like I said, we ride bikes and now I don't have that muscle fatigue and ache like I had before. So yeah, I'm just thrilled to death and I'm going to do this the rest of my life. And It's just, I'm shocked. I'll still watch your classes because I still know there's something else to learn. But I was a little torn at first. I was skeptical, but you definitely got me on the right track. So I totally appreciate this program and everything you've done for me. I can't thank you enough. So
Well, it's the results that, make you that show that it does work and keeps you on the keeps you going. So congratulations to you and
thank
thank you
you.
so much for doing this. I know that what you have to say today is going to touch someone, and so thank you for taking the time to do this today.
I hope so. Thank you so much for everything.
Of course.